What is up, everybody? It's I, the People's Machine, coming back to you with another episode of the Gaming Round Table, brought to you by our friends Unpaid Gamers, which I'm a part of. Check out Post-Human Guy. Tonight he did some Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, a great spacing sim. And check out on the PC Mr. Banloss himself. Banloss is the tag, Banloss. He is the man, the myth, the Apex Legend, bringing you Apex Legends gameplay on the PC. Challenge him if you dare. Speaking of space, this is Genesis Alpha 1, and this is Gaming Roundtable's State of Play. Now, I bought Genesis Alpha 1 about a year and a half ago or so when it came out because it intrigued me about the game. But since then, this indie developer has done so much in the way, in terms of improvement and everything about the game, that I have to talk about it, because if it's a game that you didn't get into or play, you really did yourself a disservice. It's an excellent game, a lot of fun, and an excellent space action exploration type of game with some management of your ship and stuff along that lines. Some of the things that have been improved is they redesigned all the modules of the ship. They actually added all new textures. They added new planets. They just done so much. And to start the game, I'm going to have to build. I'm starting from the scratch so you can see what is involved in this little beginning. It just tells you how to build stuff and what to do. So you have your bridge, but you got to start by basically doing your connections here, and whether it's an access or corridor, which you want to start with a corridor, which is what I always do, and then you want to get pretty much right off the bat. It's almost best to do a tractor beam like right off the bat there, and then add one. Basically, you want to do a.
Materials will be directly moved to the ship's storage.
You want to do one.
No deposit and no refinery.
Basic
Welcome
deposit.
to the deposit module.
Turn that around,
Raw materials
and that's all you
from the
need
hangar
to
will be
start.
moved here by
Off of
carrier
your tractor
robots.
beam, since you got to build a greenhouse, it's best again to do all this stuff pretty much right off the tractor beam, and then you want to build a crew quarters. And I've already
There is
built
no
storage
technology known to us that can effectively
units.
store
Let's see
or even
here.
provide a vital biosphere. This is
Storage,
the
which I
refined
don't know why
storage
it didn't
module.
count when I built
Production-ready
one, but
materials leave the
there it
refinery
goes.
and will be
And
stored
then you
here.
want to build again
Keep an eye on our
a
refined
crew
storage capacity.
or crew quarters.
Each
Again,
crew member
just do
needs
it
a
right
slot
there, and you're
in
ready to
these
play.
modules.
It's that
If
easy
a
to
crew
play.
member
So
is
we're
sick
going to
or feels
begin
bad,
by
you can most likely find them here.
to starting this off, and we're going to start the game because I want to show you some of the stuff and talk about on the improvements. While this loaded up, basically what you're looking at, one of the things I love about this game is that this developer has really done a whole lot of stuff. In the last version update, which is 1.05, they added a garage module, which is really neat because now you have you can create like little fighter craft, and you can create things because you actually run into assault modules and ship assaults. So you got this stuff to create little fighter craft and stuff to go out and explore and do some fighting there. And that was not in the game originally. Plus, they just did this really great texture map overhaul of pretty much everything. The UI was changed, the field of view was changed. They changed all the weapon models. They made it just looks so much better than it did before. They still allow you to pull up your PDA. You can still change the name of everybody's stuff. There is still like light roguelite elements in there. Again, you can go into the ship coloring. They let you customize this however you want to do it. Again, I like that aspect, of the game that lets you change the stuff around. Change the ship flooring if you want to do that. You can rename the ship. You can turn the territorial all off. And that's how that works. Or you can paint all the ship one color. It's nice, if you do the ship coloring, for example, go back in here, hold to paint the ship if you want every module to be painted the same as your bridge, and you can do that, and that's also nice. That wasn't originally in the game. And they changed the way the storage. You actually have a terminal in your storage now. That's been changed. And some of the things they added shipwrecks to the galaxy. This is new too. Like before, you just came across debris and planets, and now you have shipwrecks, and you can board them and explore. And sometimes you find alien life. You got to use alien life to collect their DNA to clone. They added the boarding of rogue ships and of course wrecks. So that's again nice to be able to board enemy vessels, which is stuff that you can experience. Your crew now gains levels and experiences, which is again very nice because then your crew gets more skilled at what they're doing. I love that. Their crews now have skills. They have egg destroyer. When some of the aliens lay eggs, they will go and seek them out. They have a crew skill weapon specialist, which allows for one of your crew members to become a weapon specialist. They're great to go down to planets. They'll be able to handle unique weapons and stuff. They have faster resource gathering crew skill. This is all for when you go down to planetary exploration. It was always very slow. The crew would do things, but you would have to wait for them, and now you really don't have to. They added a bunch of different bug fixes here and there, small bug fixes, and then they added wormholes, and that's a unique, again, kind of thing that they've added to the Galaxy on top of the new UI, on top of the new interface. And it's nice to see this indie company out of left field, and they were able to so I can open the PDA. It will tell you about your crew stuff, and every time the tutorials on it will teach you stuff like that. You can talk to these guys here, talk to Felon. They changed the way these guys look. Now they wear these glasses. They changed their outfits. They didn't always look like this, and now they get a little bit more lively. You can, I usually always rename one of my guys, and sometimes I name them after characters from Aliens or Star Trek or whatever, and I like that. But I always have one guy named Shabazz. You can talk to him on the topics, and he's lieutenant, and they gain weapons, and you can change their traits. It's nice because you have a little bit more like say in who they are. You can talk to Nash. I usually do something like this, and I can rename them. Again, I always do like alien names, so I name them like Dallas, and it's just nice that you have a little bit of a say of who your people are going to be called. So you get into the tractor beam, and you're like, okay, well, I want to go ahead and assign, your crew. And again, they changed so much of the UI. It's just different. You look over here, you can tell who's unassigned now. This is really nice. Still have the quick assignment. You can like scan. L2 lets you scan, see what you can find here. What you're going to find. Different sites detected for your different things, for your different unique traits and stuff, and it's just great. Like the improvement, the way they improved the way the alien life forms that you might have to battle, you deal with, and that's nice too. And it's just a really, like, when they overhauled it, they just did such a good job. So the state of play on this game currently is pretty on point. The game was decent at launch, and it was still fun to play. I find myself much more impressed now than I was before. It's a better game than it had been before. I like that. I'm gonna go into the hangar though real quick. This guy, he'll want to talk because he's going to tell you a little bit about different things. I need to go, wait a minute, back to the bridge real quick. This is a very important thing to do. Go back to your bridge because there's going to be a weapons crate locker here. You're going to want to take the turrets out of there. Take both turrets. Keep the weapons you're using. I'm glad that they changed the weapon models, because the weapon models were very generic, and now they look like they got some oomph to them, and I like that. And the first thing you're going to want to do is on your turrets is right away you want to put the turrets like one. Let's see here. Since there's nothing here, you want to put one that's close by the circle. That's really important to do. Put those down with the R trigger, and then you want to put one underneath. Well, only grab one, but you want to grab another one because you want to put one underneath, because that's what happens is the life forms that you might accidentally bring on board, you may accidentally, they'll go underneath the ship. You want some way to control that and shoot them up. So we'll put this one over here. So just put it down below here. So it'll shoot any aliens. You're going to want those two there. Trust me, it'll save you a lot of headaches. Because you'll get into where there's nothing active in progress. Then you want to go over to, and always remember to assign a crew member. And again, everything is interesting because they changed so much of the game as far as its interface, its UI, just the way everything kind of works. And I love that. And then now that that's assigned, you're good there. So those two you want immediately assigned. And then of course it's going to tell you a little bit about what you can do with that. Where'd the guy go? Okay. So they're going to have their helmets on because we're in the tractor beam area. Go over to, your terminal here, and you can go ahead and get to this debris. You see what they got. There's framework, and again, they added some new stuff. Like, it used to just be like you found iron, you found stuff, but it's kind of like No Man's Sky and other space games. They changed the way some of that works, and so you can come over here and help speed up the process, which is, you can do it 6 times. I usually do it just because it's easier, or it does it on its own. Sometimes your guys come over, and always be prepared. Sometimes aliens come up on board and you can shoot them before they actually spread and get everywhere, because you can walk all underneath the infrastructure of the ship. But I love the fact that Genesis Alpha 1 took kind of a simple concept and just have constantly added updates, improvements, and everything that they have done to the game. Is like, it's nice to see that. Unlike that fucking abysmal PlanetSide 2 that didn't do shit in the last 5 years, this game in the last year and a half has become better and better. Your cloning facility, when you start cloning aliens, everything looks better. You just have a lot more options. And I like the fact that the game is just, everything was overhauled. Like, the lighting was overhauled, the models, the ship crew models were overhauled, the modules where you connect and build parts of the ship were overhauled. It's like everything was. And it wasn't one of those games that you sold millions and millions of dollars worth of copies. It's just a game company that had a lot of passion for their game, and they just kept improving it. Like, enough word of mouth spread, and people, if you play this game and get into it, you'll find yourself just playing it and playing it. It's a great game, and even if it lasts for a while. Like, you can sit there and do that. Okay, so I've got all that stuff. So I'm gonna leave out of here, change the interface, and see if I can build a
reactors provide that this is a workshop.
You got your
module.
Workshop.
Here,
You got your space travel now. Ship assault. Use attack and enter enemy ships. That's great. Again, new stuff that was added. But you're going to want to add, let's see, a hangar, but I don't have enough frameworks, so I'm going to, again, that's what you're looking for. Any of the modules will tell you exactly what you need. So if I go over here, this has cable, this has 0 framework. I've already pretty much done everything there. So you might have to, leave the system to find something that has more framework. So again, you're going to be doing that. You're going to be looking and exploring and doing that. And I'll show you a little bit about what you do in this case. Here's your bridge. And again, they changed the way the bridge is now, which is nice. You can scan, space debris here, which I don't think is going to do anything, because I think I've already done that. That's supposed to be like your map there. You can sit here. There's merchants in the game you can find now that wasn't in there. You can communicate with them, sell stuff, do stuff. Bigger bridge output there. But you can go over here, and you're going to want to warp. If you want to warp someplace else, you're going to want to unknown solar system. You're going to want to hyper jump. So, let's try that. I'm going to count down. There it goes. Warped out of there, and it's kind of neat because it's one of the planets that are nearby. So much of the game has changed, and I'm always, and there's a shipwreck in this area, which is great. And That's cool. And again, just the general improvements and everything they have done has really made this game a really must buy. You don't have the resources, so I've got to scan it and see what's going on. Hopefully they'll have what I need, the framework. Yeah, okay, they have framework. That's what I needed. Go ahead and get this one scanned out. It's got gunpowder. You will need that for weapons and different things and research. The game has like a mix of both, you know, a little bit of roguelike elements. Because if your ship dies, you do carry over stuff that you found, like different things. So we're going to do this and activate the beam. Go ahead and come over here to help speed this up. And it has this mix of both, you know, shooting and exploration and like management and building and just a little bit of everything involved. And I mean, they even changed the fonts and the things like that, just generalized overall really good improvements to a game that otherwise you would think, because not a whole lot of people know about it or bought it, they wrote it off. So in its current state of play, it's just gotten better and better and better. And that's the thing. You know, I get really tired of these games that come out, these $60 AAA games that come out with arbitrary grinds and loot boxes and all the other things that are involved, and you just sit there going like, you know, why is it that all these games come out? Like, I really enjoy playing the Avengers, but I'm also disappointing in it. I've already covered that in some previous videos. Your collection thing even changed too. Like, they changed the model of that, which is neat. It doesn't look so generic, so however it looked before. But that's what I'm tired of, people. Like, I'm so sick and tired of it. Like, you get burned all the time by these games, and they just don't wash. Let's see, like, there's some aliens that came on board. Got to do that. Collect their DNA, which is nice. So there's no motion. Look, he pulled his gun out. He's ready to fire. That's why you got to worry about that stuff. I don't have a bio tank to collect stuff, but I'll have to build that. So, alright, we got that done. Let's go out here and see if I can go ahead and build okay, so I can build a hangar, which is great. So we're going to build this hangar.
The hangar is necessary to acquire resources.
Okay, I can't do that, but I can turn it around and build it off of the tractor beam there, which is what I'm going to do. I have the energy and stuff to do it. So now that I have that, let's see here. Let's go over here. Okay, so I can launch from hangar. Go down. There's a site detected. Anything in those boxes or areas on the planet that have like a loot, you might find a weapon blueprint or an audio file that gives you a little bit more about the story. So that's kind of neat. So it's always good to go do that. Let's go to my hangar. Should be, nope, it's not off there, but should be hangar. All right. So we're here in the hangar. They even changed the model of the ship. They changed. It's just amazing, just the amount of work that they have done as far as. Go ahead and get the quick crew. That's assigned. You know, they just vastly improved everything on the game, and I love that. I do. It's amazing. So let's see if I can go ahead and yeah, I don't have biomass yet. I don't know if I can build a bio tank yet or not, because you do want to build that so you can store DNA and stuff you get.
All biomass
so yes, I can. I can build that.
Make sure we
we'll build
always
it off
have
the
enough
greenhouse.
biomass in stock, and biomass
There,
is ready.
there. And the other thing you want,
the basic material
pretty
for
much
every
right off the
cloning
bat,
procedure.
is you're going to want to have a deposit, not I mean, not just a regular storage, but a deposit. You'll need more frame rate for that. But for now, I want to show you a little bit about when you go down to the planet, what happens. Let's see here. So we're going to do this. That's got framework. I do need that. That's got one side. And you'll probably find other things. So let's go ahead and launch the harvester. You're going to get on board. He's going to come with. and we're going to launch onto this planet, because this is where you get into like some of the more action. You, it's not like a full-fledged giant. I mean, it is a big world, but you don't have to. You, when you go there, they overhauled like some of the way the planet looks and stuff. Loading is incredibly fast. It's much faster than it was than before. You know, which is great. Now, overhead, your ship generates a shield. That's what that pulsing is. And you can only go so far. But they improved on a lot of stuff. Like they, you know, animated a lot of areas, and you're just going to go here and try to find things to collect. I mean, it's close to the sun. That's why it's got this look. It's got really good lighting. Now, this is very Aliens. The original game, your character had this on his hand, like a wrist thing that would show you where enemies were at. And I can't go beyond that shield. You start to die. But I've always loved the lighting of this game. It's just tremendous. Sometimes you go to worlds and they're dark, and they're, see, here's some stuff coming. Yeah, they should be crawling right here. So I'm using a shoddy, so that makes kind of short work of them, which is nice. And I got, okay, here we go. This is where you will find things, but this takes a second for it to actually like scan the site. See the 20% now. You gotta watch out for aliens. But I've always loved the lighting. Just like depending on where you're at, sometimes you get these beautiful landscapes, barren, desolate, but really nice. And even though the texture work is not great up close, you know, it's still actually, you can make up more detail in planet-side fucking twos. So here we go. So I got a outlaw shotgun, and this is cool because it's a weapon blueprint. It helps either upgrade or get you new weapons that way, and I like that. That's great. I always like to see here you can collect whatever's here. This is iron. You'll need that. So, and he's over there collecting resources while you're doing all that. So we'll do this real quick, and while he's collecting resources, here we go with this stuff here. DNA. I can make a crawl once I get to that point. They've added like a lot more like bandits and alien species that are like humanoid that come down to let's see what's going on here. Don't get on the ship, because they will stay on board the ship and fuck our shit up if we're not careful. Let's see if there's any other resources around. Like I said, like it's like blinding. I love that because that's how it would be. It's just got a nice vibe. And it runs buttery smooth 60 frames. Again, not many games are doing 60 frames. It's just kind of the way it is. So let's grab all this stuff here. Okay, he's still mining, which is great. I'll help him get the rest of it. Iron's very important. It's like I said, I kind of akin it to a little bit of Mass Effect, because at one point, you know, it was like, I mean, not Mass Effect, but No Man's Sky, because you, like, they changed with the elements you need and stuff that you're going to have to find. So we're going to go back, go right here, and we're going to go back to the mothership and get on out of here. And if I want to heal, you know, since I don't need to heal, but, and that's basically the nutshell. Plus you have to worry, though, you hope that aliens didn't come on board your ship like the little creatures, and then they crawl around the underbelly, and you got to deal with that. So you get this level of like micromanaging. Of course, some stuff got aboard the ship somewhere, so because a lot of times they just crawl on board. It's always good, to be honest with you, to put a to go ahead and put a you know, to put a see, they're going to take and store this stuff. In the original game, you had to have a deposit and a storage, and now that you have storage, before you have to have a deposit before it would take anything out. Now I just now remembered they changed that. As long as you have even the small storage stuff, your robots will go store that stuff. So it's just excellent, you know, like they just overhauled the game. It's so much better. I mean, this is like really sharp texturing, and I just love it. Like, it's for right now in 2020, the state of play of Genesis Alpha 1 is great. It looks better, plays better, 60 frames. They added the shipwrecks, they added the salt ships, they added the wormholes, they added so much more to the game, changed every single model in the game. All of them have been changed for the better. It's good. The lighting has always been like on par, and they really improved that. So as far as I'm concerned, a huge recommendation. I think it sells for $20, and it's totally worth your time. And that is my state of play for Genesis Alpha 1. Please tune in to the Gaming Round Table for all your gaming news and needs and rants and raves. Check out Ban Lost on the PC, the Apex Legend man himself. He will be, you can watch his gameplay, take some tips and pointers, and I wouldn't dare challenge him. And then you got, of course, Post-Human Guy. He did a leisure play with Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, because space is not always the final frontier, but it's damn close. And as always, gamers, good gaming.